Hey everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about organic tracking, and it's a really exciting topic because it's something that really unlocks a ton of opportunities for making better decisions internally. If you want to impress your bosses and have some great things to talk about interesting partners and outperforming channels, all of that sort of unlocked with organic tracking, and how I'll walk through in a bit. We use it internally at Everflow quite a lot, and we find it very effective for really understanding the performance of the traffic that's reaching our website and what's happening there. So before I get into that, quick introduction on myself. So I'm the SVP of marketing at Everflow. I've been at Everflow for over 5 years now, and I was actually the person who launched the mobile ad network on Everflow that was for Customer 24. So I saw the initial wireframes of Everflow before it even existed, as a full platform, and I've been along on the ride for a very long time at this point. And second fun fact, I grew up in Yosemite, and my parents were game designers for some of the very early video games, because it turned out that one of the first video game companies in the world was actually based in this like little tourist town at the southern entrance to Yosemite. Okay, so first off, what is organic tracking? Think of it as your default partner source. So all the traffic that reaches your website that isn't being attributed to one of your partners or channels inside of Everflow will show up under organic. And having this default traffic source for everything else is really helpful for you to understand how to optimize and what's overperforming against your default traffic. So a few things about why it's useful. First off, you get to track the full picture of your marketing performance. You get reporting and conversion, like you get reporting on all of the conversion events that are being driven to your website, to your client's website, however you set this up. And that data is super useful for a bunch of different things. One of them being that there's a lot of ways to look at analytics around the traffic that reaches your website, but there's very few ways to just look at, okay, I don't actually, like, maybe 10,000 users reach my website, but most of those users are not actually interested in my product and are not ready to buy. They're not actually that much great opportunities at this point. Like maybe they're just in discovery phase, or maybe they've just stumbled on your website and they're not a good fit at all. Organic tracking is really good at seeing like not the people who reach your website, but the people who are actually purchasing for your website. What do those people look like? What cities do they come from? What devices are they using? It gives you really good insights into who are your buyers and what is driving them, how are they engaging with your website, etc. Second big thing, it provides you with baseline metrics for evaluating the performance of everything you're doing. So if I see that I have a partner who's sending me 10 clicks, but those clicks are driving a ton of, say, new like webinar signups or newsletter signups, like Everflow internally, we track things like, okay, the traffic that reaches our website, how many of them are visiting our pricing page, how many of them are signing up for our blog, how many of them are signing up for our webinars. If I like organic tracking, I'm going to have maybe thousands of clicks coming in. I'm going to see that maybe 20% of them visit our pricing page. If I see that this new influencer that just set up sends me 10 clicks, which is probably not going to drive a lot of revenue, but those 10 clicks, if 9 of them are signing up for a webinar, I know that they have very engaged traffic. I'm going to reach out to the influencer, see how I can incentivize them to scale, see if there's anything else they can do to promote me, because I know that they're reaching the right audience now, and that audience is way over engaging versus my organic tracking. I'm not going to use this to ramp them up and get higher performance overall. Okay. The other good thing about this is I know from my agency days that I always needed something to talk about with my clients each week. I really like organic tracking for basically saying like, okay, here's our baseline. Now let's look at this one partner over here. Like this partner that we just set up, they just started and they're sending this much more engagement than our standard organic tracking. So that ability to sort of shout out all of your overperformers and be able to give like real data of like how much they're outperforming your organic tracking really gives you powerful tools for telling a more complete story about where opportunities lie and where success happens. Next up, another thing that's really cool about organic tracking is you can see a lot of the time the referral source. So if you see you're receiving a lot of traffic from a URL that you're not familiar with, that is like, say, like a review website or a content website, etc., you can actually use this to find out that they're sending you traffic and then reach out to them separately, recruit them as your partners, and get them incentivized to ramp up their traffic, start driving more sales, etc. So this is a really good engine to figure out what partners to recruit. So with that framing, I'm going to hop into a guided demo to sort of walk you through what this actually looks like and give you more insights into how to look at this data. So as mentioned before, I like to think of organic tracking as your performance lens for all of your default traffic, and being able to really look at your analytics around who is buying from you, who's engaging with you, and figuring out how to ramp up those people versus just who reaches your website, which haven't really proven that they're the right fit yet. I'm going to walk through sort of how to do reporting analytics around this traffic source. So we're going to look into the dimensional analytics report, which is my favorite report because I find it really easy to do a snapshot of like what is like the breakdown of like the performance from each of your different channels, each of your different placements. It really lets you go deeply granular into your traffic and reporting with like a few clicks in a very simple way. Okay, so let's hop into dimensional analytics. So in this example, I'm looking at a brand new customer. They just set up with us. They haven't started setting up their partners yet or their paid ad channels. The only partner they have right now is organic. And for anyone who's new to us, organic's a great channel to start tracking right away because you can set it up, get your first offer running, and start having traffic running through your website right away, and start having insights in Everflow that you can start showing to your boss, you can share internally while you have time to set up your partners, to set up your paid ads, etc. Organic's a great way to just immediately start having traffic to talk about. So in this case, I'm looking at these dimensions right here of my different offers I've set up. So my different campaigns, the partners, which in this case is 1, sub 1, sub 2. So in Everflow, we have placeholders sub 1 through sub 5. Anything can be passed here, but with the organic click script, we will actually by default pass specific data under sub 1 through sub 5. And I'm going to walk through a bunch of those data points you can receive there and how to think about them. And then finally, I'm looking at country. For dimensions, right now I'm looking at clicks and then the amount of like engagement events or outside of conversion events that are being tracked here. Okay, so there's 2 campaigns here under different offers. We have Fashion Nova and we have Dress Nova. I've clicked on Fashion Nova to filter my data to just look at Fashion Nova. I can see I've received 20,000 clicks already during these from like this 7-day window, and it's driven 34 events. And again, in this case, is a partner that just set up on Everflow. So this is all they have right now is organic, and they start having insights that they can start showing to their bosses right away. So looking at Fashion Nova, organic, sub 1, the organic click script will start passing you the attributed source. So again, as mentioned, like organic's your default tracking. And when you first set this up, you may not be tracking your Google ads yet, your Facebook, etc. The organic click script will automatically identify traffic that's coming from Google ads, from Facebook, etc., so that you know how those are performing and how much results are being driven there. And then when you want to take it to the next level, start using our integrations with Google and Facebook, you can add a new partner for Google, a new partner for Facebook, and start having the tracking attributed to that Google partner, to that Facebook partner, and then start looking at them that way. But in the meantime, as soon as you set up organic click script, you will see that data broken out. And the way we actually do this is that Google and Facebook, they pass their unique click ID on every user that they send to your website or to your client's website. And we see that click ID is there and we know, okay, that's Google. So we'll break it out here. So we have most of our traffic from just our direct channels, but we do know that there's some paid ad traffic and some Facebook traffic already being received by the website. And me as the marketing leader know, okay, I should be breaking those out into their own partners in Everflow. Next up, referral source. So we can see of the traffic reaching your website, was there a refer URL? And if there is, then we can say like, okay, it came from that traffic source. So when you have this set up, most traffic, this is not detected. So 17,000 clicks did not have any referral source. Then the next largest amount of clicks came from Google. Someone searched for it, got to your website, pretty straightforward. In this case, the third biggest one is Dress Nova. So in this example, they have 2 websites, Fashion Nova and Dress Nova. They're linking between them. It makes sense that they're getting a fair amount of traffic from their other website linking to this Fashion Nova website, and that drove some engagement events or whatever. Next up, they have a bunch of mobile traffic coming in. They have Zoom traffic from their promotions there. They have LinkedIn traffic, Instagram, etc. We get down to this one of this mktion.com, where they received 107 clicks. They may be like, oh, I have no idea what website that is. They can go there. They can be like, oh, actually, this is like a website that promotes fashion brands or whatever. If they see that, they know that they already have active traffic coming to them. So they should be reaching out to this website, see if they can recruit them as a partner, see how they can scale them, how to start driving more like conversions and performance from them. Like this gives you that insight to find all of these websites that are already like, especially content websites, they're already sending traffic, and then you know that you can start reaching out to them and recruit them. Next up, you can see all the countries where you're getting traffic. So you know, okay, almost all our tracking is coming from United States, and that's where almost all our events are. Then we get a fair amount of traffic from Canada. But you can see that even things like France are sending like 900 clicks. Maybe it's worth you spending the time to build a landing page that's in French to reach that audience. Like if you know you have a lot of traffic coming from there, you want to start spending the time to actually win over that traffic. Okay, so that's example one. And now I'm going to walk through another example to show you some more examples of what kind of data you can look at here. Okay, so now I'm looking at a more scaled customer, and I'm looking at dimensions. And again, these are all examples. The data's been changed. Like this came off of real world data, but then all the details have been changed so that we're not providing any like private data, but this is actually like real customers with all their data obscured. So this is the real kind of stuff you would be seeing. Okay, so I'm looking at another one for the same week. In this case, the dimensions are offer, partner, device type, city, and country. They have a bunch of different campaigns that they have set up here. I'm just looking at all of them. I've gone down here and clicked on organic to filter down to just looking at my organic traffic, my organic traffic. And you can see that they have all of their other channels here. In this case, they're working with multiple channels. They have all their media buying tracking here. They have their influencer tracking here. They have lots of different sources of traffic. But by far, most of their traffic was organic and just reaching them naturally and not coming through a paid ad or partner channel. So looking at organic, the next thing I want to highlight is device types really helpful. So in this case, you can see that mobile is by far most of their traffic. Most of the people reaching their website are coming from mobile devices, and that drives most of their conversions. So when you see this kind of data, you're like, okay, like clearly I need to make sure that I am making my website as optimized for mobile as possible, because that's where most of my users come from and most of my users are buying from. So if my website is not mobile friendly, how many more sales could I have generated had I given them a better experience? So it's really good for making this kind of insights towards like where to focus your attention. If you're a marketing leader, if you're on the partnerships or affiliate side, again, you want to really use this organic data as a comparison against all of your partners that are really outperforming your organic, so that you have something that you can say like, no, affiliate's super important for us. Look at how much they perform against this traffic. Look at how much like these 3 partners are amazing. And I'm reaching out to these 5 other partners because I can tell that they have a lot of like potential opportunity with the engagement they're driving. You really get a better story to tell internally about the power of partnerships when you have comparison against organic. Next up, still looking at organic, I can see the different cities where traffic is coming from. And this can be really useful for sort of targeting my marketing or my partnerships. If you have like a city that's really outperforming, maybe I want to go there and do customer events, maybe host some happy hours, get customers out, do local TV ads. There's all sorts of ways that if you know that certain geos and cities outperform, you can focus your attention on like local partnerships there. Anything else that's like a way to reach that specific audience and scale it. And it's also just like a really fun thing that gives you like some like pizzazz to your partnership program. If you can be like, actually, we know this city's good. We know this partner is really strong in that city. Let's do a partnership there of like a local city event to get the word out and drive more sales. These are just the kind of fun campaigns to get everyone excited and really has something that everyone can talk about internally inside your company. And then, of course, looking at your countries again, you want to make sure you're optimizing towards the countries you can serve. And if you're getting a lot of traffic from a country you can't serve, like Canada, you can make sure that either you find a solution that can serve Canada internally, Or you could even partner with a Canadian, say like in this case, it's a shaving company. Maybe find a Canadian shaving company that you can partner with, and then you can actually just send all of your Canadian traffic to that Canadian partner that can serve it. And then you're not wasting any traffic. You have a new revenue source by sending traffic to the Canadian partner. And of course, then you build a really good strategic affiliate partnership with another company that also helps you make sure that none of your traffic is wasted. So things like this, you certainly have all these insights and juicy ways to have exciting things to start doing. And I find with partnerships in particular, having something fun to talk about every week is just so valuable towards your ability to increase the resources going to your section of the company. Okay, so I'm going to resume now. Covered everything here. One thing also that I want to mention is that once you have all this stuff set up, you have the ability to just sort of look at your organic tracking in terms of all of the events it's generating. So I'm now looking at the event report, which is under reporting. I'm looking at just that organic user. So I filtered all my data and I'm just looking at a styling quiz. So I can see that during this week period, I've received from organic and for this styling quiz 21,500 clicks, and I can see all of the different events that happen. So in this case, the base conversions, the completed style quiz drove 409 events. There's a monthly subscription, annual subscription, and newsletter sign up. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, if you're looking at not just sales or leads, but other engagement events, it really gives you a lot more story to tell internally. It gives you ways to find which partners are driving engagement before they even get to the sales or lead process and start building up those relationships, because you know if they're sending traffic that's engaging with your website or the sort of things that you consider important, there's clearly some fit there in terms of audience, and then it's your job to ramp that up with the affiliate or partner. The other thing is that like you can look at other data points to sort of get idea of like who outperforms. So I really like say like monthly subscription. So anything like renewals, rebills, etc. When you have organic tracking, you say like, okay, like I know if I get 100 customers, 30% of them are renewing month after month after month. That's great. If I set up another partner and that partner sends me 2 customers and those customers each have renewed for like 12, 24 months, I can tell that the like post customer engagement from that partner is amazing. And I want to start paying them more and get them to send me more customers because I have a lot more like lifetime revenue to work with there. So I want to pay that partner more. I want to scale them more because compared to my organic tracking, this partner is sending me customers that last longer and are way higher value. Again, another thing that you want to ramp up on the partner team, B, you want to talk about internally, and C, you want to figure out how to get more of that traffic. So when you have organic, you start having these insights towards all your other channels and exciting things you can do internally. So I think that's it. This really quick walkthrough of this just to make sure you get like some idea of like what's possible here. If you have any questions now, I'm happy to answer them. Yeah, so feel free to ask questions and put them in the chat right now. And then if you want to get started with the organic click script and you haven't set it up yet, just reach out to success@everflow.io. And our team will walk you through it. It's basically just taking the existing click script and putting a more advanced version on your website. And once you have it set up, it will start detecting all of these additional parameters automatically. And you can use these parameters to understand things like, should you be setting up your media buying inside of Everflow? Should you be recruiting more partners that are already sending you traffic because they're great content websites, but you haven't talked to them yet? And should you basically be ramping up some of your partners because you know that they massively outperform your organic tracking? Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for joining us our organic tracking webinar. Thank you.